Let's check in with Maria and see how the week is starting out.
Yeah, it's starting out pretty quiet. We have temperatures generally near 70. Mount Vernon at 71, Passaic at 70 degrees, Hauppauge in the upper 60s. You can see we're headed in the mid and upper 80s with a spotty shower or two, and that is the key word, spotty shower or two. But this is going to do big things to our temperatures. Wait to see where we end up the rest of the week coming up in the 10-day. It's not an NFT where it's kind of in the air or whatever that is. Right. All right, we are looking ahead to a pretty nice day here. I think maybe a 7 out of 10 because we do have some humidity coming our way. I think this weekend was pretty great. 74 degrees out there right now. The humidity is coming up and will continue to go up a bit through the day today. So I'm bringing back the heat index forecast. Nothing wild. We don't have any advisories in there, but if you're out during the day, it may feel more like the low 90s at times during the afternoon. But you see a pretty quick drop off here. We're waiting on a front that's sort of just giving us this one and done kind of day. And as you can see going forward, there's really not much to talk about. It will be a spotty shower or two as that front clears later on this afternoon, but just be aware that's a possibility. Otherwise, it is going to be warm and humid. 89 degrees, northwest winds about 5 to 10, and that humidity coming up, and then it comes down tonight down to 66 degrees. So starting off tomorrow, really pleasant. North winds about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then, believe it or not, we may not get to 80 degrees tomorrow. 78 for the high and a brisk north wind about 5 to 15. So yeah, I think there's definitely a hint of September, and it's kind of where we're going to be the rest of the week. And in fact, if you look at the 90s, we haven't had a 90-degree day yet in August. So if we don't get one today, we potentially won't get one for the rest of the month. That's the kind of forecast we have. But look at where we were yesterday. Last year, August tallied 11 days in the 90s, where average is about 4. So we're definitely running a little bit behind. Talk about heating up. Well, we're obviously watching Hillary, but we've got a lot going on in the Atlantic. A couple things to keep an eye on, including Tropical Storm Franklin, which on the outskirts could bring some squally weather.
Check in with Maria. Maria, what's happening?
All right, we're looking at a pretty warm summer day ahead. We take you to Toms River, where we're going to be pushing 90 degrees through 4 p.m. into the mid and upper 80s through 7 o'clock. So all in all, if you're good at the beach, temperature-wise and precipitation-wise, we see by the end of the week the rain chances go way up. I'll talk about how this affects the next weekend's forecast as well, coming up in the 10-day. So we do have that, and I've got a couple really nice days through the rest of the work week. We're off to a quiet start as we look at a very quiet plaza. The wind's not too heavy right now. We have them at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. 74 at Central Park, and the dew point's starting to come up. So if you were out and about enjoying a beautiful dry weekend, it's a little stickier, and that's going to be a factor into how warm it feels later on. By 11 a.m., 82 degrees. We're also looking at that humidity getting wiped away pretty quickly. So we're going to see big changes heading into tonight in that department because of a cold front, and that's just enough of a boundary that we could touch off a few showers, maybe a thunderstorm. And you can see with the hour-by-hour forecast, by far this is not going to be an issue for most of us, but you see that through at least late this evening, especially from the city to the north and east. So Hudson Valley, Long Island, Connecticut, you may want to tuck that umbrella in as you head out. Otherwise, definitely keep it cool today. 89 for the high, but at times feeling more like the low 90s. If we don't get to 90 today, I don't see it really for the rest of the month, and so we may go with August not getting to 90 degrees at Central Park. Pretty amazing. 66 degrees overnight. In fact, really on the cool side heading to tomorrow morning for some areas, especially north and west, where we've dipped down into the 50s tomorrow morning from Sussex and Poughkeepsie and Monticello. A bit of a breeze as well, and that low humidity adding to that September feel. And these are the highs tomorrow. So we go from near 90 to trying to get to 80 degrees tomorrow, so it should be pretty nice. It's also going to be rain-free for the next few days. I start with a really wide view because you can see the evidence of this heat dome that's building in through the central U.S. as high pressure. So all of the rain is flowing around it, including the remnants of Hillary, where we may get some of that infused into our rain chances as we get into Friday and Saturday. So we really go throughout the week here dry and on the cooler side. But definitely heating up in the tropics along with Hillary. We have a couple of things to watch. One in the Gulf of Mexico, which is looking like it could get some further development going in the next couple of days. We also have a Tropical Storm Emily and Franklin, which is going to bring some pretty heavy rain to the Dominican Republic, maybe some fringe bands chance of bringing some rainfall to Puerto Rico. Not looking at anything.
And we want to check in with Maria and find out how that's looking.
Yeah, looking pretty quiet right now. Let's take you to Newfield, Connecticut. We're at 65 degrees, headed to mostly cloudy skies, but mid and upper 80s. That northwest wind is going to really change things, though, tonight. The humidity comes down and the warmth gets wiped away. Gusts as high as 20, 25 miles per hour by tonight. How low we go the rest of the week coming up in the 10-day. All right, but August for us anyway at Central Park hasn't been. We haven't had a 90-degree day in August at Central Park just yet. I know, kind of tough to imagine. This time last year, August tallied 11 days of a 90+, where on average August comes up with about 4. Again, these are Central Park numbers, and you can see come September that starts to get less and less likely to see a 90-degree day. We have our chance today, because official forecast calling for 89 degrees, and if we don't get to 90 today, as you can see, very plausible that we don't get a 90-degree day in August at Central Park, and that hasn't happened since August of 1986. So that would be something. But obviously, something to be said, too, that we have no major heat in the forecast aside from today, and still no advisories warranted for this level of warmth that we're expecting. So out the door at 74 degrees, the humidity has come up, so definitely be ready for a toasty one. In fact, it feels like temperatures at times today because of that warmth and humidity, sun and clouds. It'll feel like the low 90s for a time. We can handle it, but just keep cool, and you can see those temperatures cooling off by tonight. This surge of warmth is ahead of a cold front, and there's just enough out there that we've got a spotty shower or two heading into the afternoon, mainly north and east of the city. Otherwise, again, a pretty quiet day ahead. By the time we get to tonight, that front is clearing, and it is going to feel like September come tomorrow. 89 for the high today, northwest winds about 5 to 10. Breezy conditions tonight, down to 66 degrees, and tomorrow we'll be lucky to get to 80 degrees. Not even talking about 90, we're talking about 80, trying to get there. 78 for the high with mostly sunny skies and a north wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So feeling like September for sure.
Monday weather, how's it looking there, Maria?
Yeah, looking pretty quiet as we take a live look at Coney Island. Some clouds, but no rainfall. And as we count down the number of beach days we can sneak in here, we've got Louie from Brooklyn who says today is a beach day, because temperatures are warming up quickly. 11 a.m., 82 degrees. It's feeling muggy, approaching 90. As we get into the overnight, though, temperatures are dropping. I'll check out how long it'll feel like September already for the end of August in that 10-day forecast.
Maria, thanks so much. So we start our brand new week, Maria. Beautiful view there.
Yeah, looks great. Looking at lower Manhattan, the vantage point of the Statue of Liberty. It's starting to get a little muggier. It's going to be hot and muggy today, but you can see where we're headed. Nowhere near hot, and for the most part, no heat and not much precipitation. I'll time out, though, when we do see that return in the 10-day forecast.
All right, Maria.
Next round, right? All right. Well, if you are waiting to head out, we are looking pretty quiet this morning. Looking over Midtown, some haze and some clouds out there, but no precipitation. If you have stepped out already, you'll probably already feel a little bit of that mugginess coming back. 73 at Central Park. The dew points into the low 60s. We're going to end up with dew points in the mid and upper 60s. That's definitely the sticky level. And on top of that, warming up quite a bit. So the feels like temperature, a factor to consider today. So at times feeling like the low to mid 90s in spots with sun and clouds, but that's not going to last very long. We have a front coming through. There's just enough out there that maybe you get a spotty shower or thunderstorm, especially north and east of the city this afternoon. But I think more of us just going to stay muggy and hot. Once this front comes through, though, anything but muggy and hot. I'll show you that in a second. So be ready today. 89 degrees, northwest winds about 5 to 10. That'll pick up a bit tonight with that front coming through. The humidity crashes, and it's going to be on the cool side tomorrow, at least feeling that way. 66 degrees with a brisk north wind, north and west dipping into the 50s from Sussex and Poughkeepsie. And as far as high temperatures go, most of us staying in the 70s, 78 for the high in the city, and a brisk north wind about 5 to 15 miles per hour. And we don't lose that. We stay in the 70s through the rest of the week. We've been watching what has been a pretty hot tropics right now, and it's that time of the season where we would typically see a lot of activity, but a couple of things to point out. We have Hillary, of course. We have an area in the Gulf of Mexico that we'll definitely keep an eye on. And then Tropical Storm Franklin moving through the next couple days, parts of the Dominican Republic and Haiti. The fringes, Puerto Rico. So you may
ready to start your day.
Yeah, starting off pretty quiet right now as we look at lower Manhattan from the vantage point of EarthCam and the Statue of Liberty. A little bit of haze along with some of the clouds, still tracking the wildfire smoke in through portions of Western Canada. An issue for us this morning, but you can see with the front coming through what that does to our air quality and, of course, our temperatures too. The dive we take over the next few days in the 10-day forecast.
Maria, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty quiet summer day as we take a live look from Midtown and toward that hazy sun right now. But of course, it's August, still August. It's going to feel like it today, but it's also clear the shelters. So Storm Team 4 doing its part to help showcase some of these wonderful animals up for adoption, hoping to get them out of the shelters and into some loving homes. So remember, point your camera to the QR code, click the link, and you can find out more about little guys like this one, Milo. He was called the Mighty Maltese Mix Milo, and he's got a little mask here. Really sweet boy, 2 years old. We are told that he goes home with the foster family and is great with other dogs. So if you already have a dog but are looking for someone else to fit into the family, he might be the one for you. And loves cuddles, but also loves to play with toys and be active and go for walks. So he sounds pretty much perfect. So if Milo might be able to fit into your family, definitely click on that QR code and you can find out how to get him into your loving home. All right, out the door right now, if you're taking your fur baby out, 73 degrees. We're starting to see that humidity come up. As I mentioned, it's going to feel like August because we've got the heat and humidity combination today. 84 degrees by noontime, but we do have cooler temperatures for the rest of the week by a lot. In fact, today approaching 90 degrees, nowhere really near it. And we're going to struggle to get to 80 degrees for most of this week, even into the weekend and next week, which is pretty remarkable because we haven't had a 90-degree day yet in August, this August. Last August, we tallied 11. On average is about 4. But you can see come September, that type of heat gets a little bit harder, less likely. So this might be it, certainly for August as it looks right now. 89 today, maybe a spotty shower north and east of the city with the front coming through. That front dries us out, brings that humidity down. A cool start to the day tomorrow, 66 degrees. And as I mentioned, struggling to get to 80 tomorrow. And those north winds about 5 to 15 miles per hour, just adding